Is Iran now planning to end the war? So this is the 20th day of the Iran-Israel-US war. Both sides have been hitting each other hard. Supreme leader and top commanders have been killed, and there have been civilian deaths and serious damage to major infrastructure. Both sides are still carrying out attacks, and there is still no ceasefire. But right now, the situation has reached a point where this war could either stop or move to a much more dangerous level. Because see, Israel and the US believed that killing their supreme leader would break Iran and force it to give up. But that didn't happen. Iran didn't give up. And still, Donald Trump is pushing for Iran's unconditional surrender, refusing to accept any terms at all. Israel also sees no fast end to this war or any sign of regime collapse in Iran. Iran has even shut down the Strait of Hormuz for Israel and the US. And now it has put forward 3 conditions. Yes, 3 major conditions to stop the war. That means Iran is looking for a way out, but without bowing down. So what are these 3 conditions? Extremely high is the conflict between Iran, the US, and Israel goes on with missile strikes and military threats across the region. In the middle of this growing conflict, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has laid out the conditions under which Tehran says it is ready to stop the war. According to Iran, the fighting can end if certain political and security demands are fulfilled. Now let's talk about the 3 conditions Iran has put forward to bring this war to a close. Iran's government says all 3 of these demands must be met before the conflict can come to an end. These conditions mainly focus on political recognition, financial compensation, and security guarantees. The first condition is that Iran's legitimate rights, its nuclear program and regional influence must be recognized. Tehran says that any peace deal must respect Iran's sovereignty and its political position in the region. The second condition is compensation for all the damage done during this war. Iranian officials say that airstrikes and military operations have destroyed infrastructure and also caused civilian deaths. And because of this, those responsible must pay reparations. The third condition is a solid international guarantee that Iran will not face similar attacks in the future. Tehran believes these assurances are needed to stop another round of military escalation. In a post on social media platform X, President Masoud Pezeshkian explained Iran's stance and said that Iran remains committed to peace in the region. But while putting forward these peace conditions, Iran has also given a strong warning. The country says that if its ports or maritime infrastructure are struck, it could set off a much wider regional response. Abulfazl Shakarki, spokesperson of Iran's armed forces, said that Iran would target strategic locations across the Persian Gulf if its own ports came under attack. He warned that Iran's military can hit major economic and transport hubs across the region. So according to him, if Iran's ports and docks are threatened, then all ports and docks in the region could become valid targets. He also warned that the Iranian armed forces could launch even bigger operations if the conflict gets worse. He said Iran could carry out far larger operations than what it has done so far. Shakarki also called on countries in the region to reconsider hosting American forces and push them to remove U.S. troops from their soil. Now the question is, why might Iran want to stop this war? Even after heavy bombing campaigns and targeted strikes on military leaders, there are still no signs that the Iranian regime is falling apart. Iran is still holding its ground. But at the same time, this war is making Iran's economic problems even worse. For years, international sanctions have already put serious pressure on the country's economy. And this conflict has made things even harder. Airstrikes and missile attacks have damaged buildings, transport networks, and public facilities in multiple cities. The cost of rebuilding all of this could be massive, and trade disruptions are also hurting economic activity across the region. At the same time, people in Iran are dealing with rising inflation, job losses, and shortages of basic goods. So this could also be one of the reasons why Iran might be looking to bring this war to an end. But in the end, wanting a ceasefire is always the better choice. Now, what do you think about Iran's 3 conditions to stop this war? You believe this could actually lead to peace, or will the fighting go on?